All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world, male and female, wherever you're at, welcome out. My name is Logan, Decode Your Reality, and this is going to be a behind the scenes of the release I just put out about 12 hours ago, 15 hours ago, and I put it out on July 4th, right? It got released on YouTube. We're in my part of the world on July 4th, and I wanted to show you the ridiculousness of the code working through me, because none of my videos are planned out in the aspect of how long they're going to go. I create the slides and then I get it set up and I just narrate the show for you, right? I narrate the presentation and then whatever it comes out at, it comes out at. I don't slice or dice to try to get these outcomes. So I'm going to show you, if you watch this Greatest Show on Earth Decoded, one of the best ones I thought because of the information and what it was showing. But I really appreciate all of you subscribing to this channel, coming along for this ride, and supporting this video here. So here, this is for you, ladies and gentlemen. Since you watched the Greatest Show on Earth Decoded, here's the behind the scenes and watching me being used as an instrument to show you this code, this source code playing out through me. And I wanted to really start off with the timestamp here. And I've snipped it out and made it really big so you can see it. So the very first time I show this slide, Greatest Show on Earth, because I started off with the cabin in the woods, but then when I moved to Greatest Show on Earth, it was at 1 minute and 37 seconds into this presentation. I'm going to get into the total timestamp of 54:16, but 1 minute 37 seconds is when I first put this slide out. And so I'm going to break this down right here to show you. And I didn't plan this, folks. I just improv all my stuff. And it just comes out the way it comes out. But this is how ridiculously scripted my reality is. And there it is. Bam! To start this thing off with a slam bam. It's lights, camera, action. And how do I get that? Because, you know, the 137, when I first showed this slide, is tied to this element, barium. Barium is the 56th element, 56 protons. 5 and 6 is the pentagram or the pentagon, and the hexagon, which is on the soccer ball, the most popular sport in the world today. The 5 and the 6. And there it is. So there's the 137. When I first showed, the Greatest Show on Earth is the movie. It's so scripted. I didn't plan this though. But wait, there's more. Of course. So, you know, the 56, so many things, speed of light is 56, spirit into matter is 56, because that's what this means. The Greatest Show on Earth is your life. It's the whole entire, you know, reality that we're living out. But it's your life in particular that's the greatest show. And it's because, see, you have a spirit and it comes into matter and now uses you as an avatar. You're an instrument for the God, the spirit, whatever that looks like. And this is obviously, these are dead giveaways. What's so interesting about this element, barium, being tied to lights, camera, action, and spirit into matter, is how about this right here? You ever go to the circus? The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus. It was the 5 brothers of the Ringling. Their original name was Rungling. They're from Germany. And then they combined with P.T. Barnum and James Bailey, these 2 guys, to form 7 dudes, and then they formed this circus, which was the longest running circus. It just ended not too long ago, not too many years ago. And what's so fascinating is P.T. Barnum and James Bailey, you notice that their names both start with the B.A., which is the abbreviation for barium. That's why this is so fun. That's why I just have to laugh. And then, you know, for those of you, when you go read about the Ringling Brothers, it specifically says, here's the icing on the cake, that they were Masons. Uh-oh. The Ringling Brothers, they were Freemasons. So, there you go. Uh-oh. That's the reason why we're being mocked, because of the circus. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just having fun with this. But there it was, the BA and the BA right there, tied to the lights, camera, action, right? The spirit into matter. And of course, as fate would have it, the last names of the Ringling Brothers and then Barnum and Bailey is a 56. Oh, man. Lights, camera, action, folks. The three last names of the individuals come together to form the greatest show on earth is 56. And that's when I first showed this slide, the greatest show on earth. Anyway, oh man. So, another way to look at this is when you take the timestamps and you add them up. So 137 is when I showed this, the first slide. 1 plus 37 is 38. And this is where you're going to get, you being the actor or actress on the world stage, that mighty 38. And the 38 is so big, I covered this in my scripted reality number 8. And it was on this product called the Smoke Guard. And I showed how through the string of the golden ratio, first using the I am, you can spell out I am on the periodic table, how many times I've shown this. Many of you great decoders have shown how significant these two elements are. And so I went ahead and I looked into the golden ratio. What digit occupies the 53rd space? Digit 8. And what digit occupies space 95? The 3. And that's the 83 or the 38. And this was all about the Smoke Guard 700, and that was the 38. But it's the GOD, the I am that I am, using us as instruments to live out its own reality, to play the greatest show on earth, to be part of the theater down here. That's exactly what this whole thing means. I mean, it's clear here, the connections. It's just getting tighter and tighter to support the narrative that we are just being used. We got to have fun with this. Okay, we just got to have fun with this right here. So what about the total length of the video? Now, there's going to be two numbers. Like usual, YouTube always gives two numbers. It'll be 54:17, which is going to be 71, which is tied to loose for the Lightbringer. But when you click on the video, it's 54 minutes and 16 seconds. And 54 plus 16 is that number 70. And that number 70 was really big in my greatest show on earth decoded, because in the cabin in the woods, which was kind of the reason why I did this decode, was because when Richard, the actor here, which was obviously these guys were the controllers of our reality, this was the narrative. This is when he first says greatest show on earth. And I paused it right at that 51 minute and 19 second mark. And 51 and 19 equaled the number 70. So the total timestamp of my video, which I never planned out, it's all improv, I did not edit this to come out this way, is the same exact outcome as when he first says the greatest show on earth. So what's using me, folks? It's not, there's no Mason using me. There's no Jesuit certainly using me. There's no secret society using me. I belong to no organizations. So what is it? What do we chalk this up to? Well, I'll leave that to you. But the 70 was really big, right? Because it landed in the string of the golden ratio at digits 65 and 66. How big that 66 was tied to the Christ, right? The Jesus. When you see 66, it means the Christ. But I'm going to come back to that in a second here. But the 70 was the big takeaway, right? The total timestamp added up, 70. When you say 70, it's 45. Pandora's box is 45. So you're in it. This is just more support showing you're in Pandora's box. We're in it. We're in the shit show. It can be beautiful. It can be a shit show. It's all theater. We're entertainment down here, folks. So whatever's observing us, it's like you watching a movie. Is the movie real? Well, the actors are real and the actresses are real. Is the movie real? No, but the people playing it out are. So is our movie real? Well, of course it is to us because we're acting it out, but whatever's observing us, it's just like us watching a movie. It's the same situation. These are fractals Mandelbrot set. It's internal and infinite specific positions over and over and over. These are kind of no-brainers. And the 70 is tied to the pentagram, the 7 pentagrammal numbers. This is the seventh pentagram or pentagonal number, if I'm saying that right. 70. It's tied to the crown, right? So I'm going to now go back to the cards of illumination and the bingo chart, as I like to call it here. And I want to use this for this number 66. We could do the 70. 70 will be right here, right? But I want to use the 66 because remember that the 70 in the golden ratio is going to occupy 65 and 66, right? It ends at that number 66. So we can definitely use the 65 and 66 here, and that's going to give us on the 13 and 14, that's going to be 27. That's going to be tied to gold, the golden ratio. 27 space is occupied through the 79 space. How I found these again is, go into the boilerplate chart for the cards of illumination. Here they are. So we have one side, which is going to have the 52 cards, and then you have the Master Spirit side, which is going to have 52 cards. So you literally have 104 cards here. So we can bring in 104 squares like a bingo chart, and we can start to get more clues to define and support that we live in a scripted reality. So because this 66 was so big, and because the timestamp that I had put out for this presentation is 70, which matched the first time this guy says the greatest show on earth, and it's tied to the 66, it's very important, obviously. Right, it's very important. Like I said, we could have did the 70. Maybe you want to have some fun and play around with this. I mean, if you take 18 and you add it to the 70, what do you get? 88. What's 88? Time travel. It's tied to radium. Ra, the sun god Ra. It's tied to Lucifer through the 39 in Yttrium. That's just looking at the 70, but what about the 66? Because it's tied to the Christ. Bethlehem, 31, 35, 66. You know. What about these? So it's the number 14 and the number 66. Okay, and we know that the word God is 14, right? So it sits right in the space, and it's really a block that's owned by horizontally Uranus and vertically Neptune. It seems like Neptune and Uranus are really kind of the big boys on the block, so to speak, right? And when you take the 14 and you add the 16, you're going to get the number 80, which just so happens to be the numerology for the biblical expression of where it came from in Judaism called tree of life. This is tree of life in Hebrew. How about that? So 80 means tree of life, which is tied to the God, which is tied to the Christ, because Jesus was born at 31 degrees north and 35 degrees east, the city of Bethlehem. That's going to be giving you the number 66. So we're just going to keep going with this right here. We're going to follow it. And now we're going to bring in solar spread number 66. Could have did solar spread number 70, but let's do solar spread number 66. Route 66 in the US. Go check out how long that one is. So many clues with this. But anyway, the 9 of spades is going to occupy that space number 66. Now I'm comparing it to solar spread 0. We could have brought in the, I'm comparing it to this right here, but we could also bring in the 3 of spades, which is going to be card 42, life, the universe, and everything. There's so many ways to bring this down and show you. But what's so fascinating is the 9 of spades sitting in that 14 space and the 66 space on solar spread 66 is going to be tied to and go right back to now the English spelling of tree of life, and that the tree of life is your brain and the spinal cord, okay, which the God uses because it's the 14 and God is 14. It uses us as instruments to play out its own reality. And it just so happens that I put this Decode Greatest Show on Earth on July 4th. Today's July 4th, shooting this again. And the solar spread 0, which is right here, is the Jack of Diamonds. And guess what the Jack of Diamonds is for July 4th? Right there. I didn't plan this, folks. I did not plan this video when I released this early in the morning of July 4th, and now doing this behind the scenes. But I was laughing when I saw this, like, oh, I got to do it behind the scenes. There it is, July 4th card, Jack of Diamonds. Right there, you can't, I mean, it's pretty easy. And then when you bring them together, there's the July 4th. When you bring them together, the Jack of Diamonds and the 9 of Spades. Look at this. You mean to tell me there are people that are coding this like this? I mean, you can certainly we're becoming aware of the code. But look at how big this is. The 2 base pairs of our DNA. And some people say, oh, DNA is not real. Dude, just because the idea of DNA makes it real. 106. So there you go. So what does it mean to be, you're at Route 66, Jesus Christ, tied to the 66, 666, 6 is carbon. 666, 666. That's really, really interesting, folks. And there you go. With the Jack of Diamonds and the Nine of Spades. Right there. And you could have added in the three of spades, and that's going to tack on 42. So you would actually give you a total of 127, which is going to be tied to Tellurium and Prison Planet and all that kind of stuff. But I'll let you guys and gals have some fun with this right here. So, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'd love to hear what you saw. This was for all you, showing you the craziness in my life, how scripted my life is. I don't even plan any of this stuff out. It's just so fun. So much fun doing this. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you.